Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope all is well. We had a crazy week in crypto this week. So basically crypto's been trading sideways. With the highs that we saw Bitcoin in the 70s and altcoins started pumping, we got very excited, thought that hey, the race was on, time to get these gains. But, as we know in the crypto space, nothing's ever guaranteed, right? When you think it's crazy high, you get hit with something else. But overall, this week we had a lot of positive news, positive good news. And I just wanted to go over some things right now. Hope you guys have been great. I hope you've been stacking. There's a lot of good things coming up in the future, especially some good narratives. And I think if you're playing in these narratives as well as stacking your blue chips, you should be in good shape. So let's take a look at the space right now. So if we take a look at the coin market cap, we're looking to see that we're currently in greed, no longer in extreme greed over here. This is according to coin market cap. Last week we were here in extreme greed. So, FUD is having a little bit of an impact. Now we have about 2.4 million plus cryptos. It's crazy. Market cap of 2.49 trillion. That's up about a quarter percent. And we look at the 24-hour volumes, we're at 69 billion. Bitcoin dominance at 51.7 and ETH dominance at 16.3. Now let's take a look at the past 7 days. Bitcoin's down about 2.6%. So we got a Bitcoin price of 65,000 right now. ETH is down 5.5%. We got a price about 3,300. And Sol is down 9%, price about 176. Then you have going down, ADA's down 5%, so we got 63 cents for a price. AVAX down 2%, $53. Toncoin, which I'll cover a little bit later, is up 29%. So what's driving that? Almost up to $5. Let's take a look here. Polkadot's down 7.4%. Chainlink is down, well, not even close to a percent, $18. We have Polygon down 6.9%. Near took a beating, down 18.3%, $6.56. Probably because of the Nvidia news. Probably didn't, people were hyping that up. Nothing really came to fruition there. Litecoin up 4.2%, $89. Aptos up 16.3%. So overall, some are standing out, and I'm going to cover three that are really standing out during everybody pretty much going red. Look at Injective down 16.7%, which I think is a great buy. Pepe down 16.3%. Phantom is one that I will be covering, up 21.5%. So over a dollar. And then that's it. Say is down 7.9%, 80 cents. I still think that's a good buy. Fetch AI, if you're in the AI space, which is going to be a strong narrative for this bull cycle, I think is a good buy as well. That's down. And Sui's up 8.8%, $1.67. So let's take a look at some other on-chain information. We see that as far as daily active addresses for these L1s, Near is top at 1.4 million, Solana 1.1 million, ETH 532,000, Aptos coming up 184,000, Avalanche C Chain 53,000. Then we have over here Phantom, which is one coming up as well, 43.8. Injective 28.4, Sui 11.1, and Say 9.4. So let's look at daily transactions for all these chains. We see that Solana is leading the pack with 26.7 million, Near 4.7 million, Say 3.8 million. Daily act, oh, that's interesting. Injective 2.1 million, Aptos 1.9, Sui 1.5, Ethereum 1.3. Avalanche 372,000, Phantom 281, and ADA at 48.7. So look at that, Sui, and under 80 cents, and look at the amount of daily transactions on that chain, 3.8 million, higher than Injective, higher than Aptos, higher than Sui. Could be a good buy. Could be a good buy. So let's take a look at what we have coming up. We have that the Bitcoin halving is coming up, guys. I know things aren't popping like we expected, and things are trading sideways. A lot of FUD out there. But listen, we didn't even hit the Bitcoin halving yet. That's not even here. So in less than a month, we have Bitcoin halving, and we know what happens after that. Historically, things take off, especially Bitcoin. So with the amount of volume coming in from these ETFs, and then you have the supply crunch after the halving, things are going to be bananas. So right now, I think it's a good opportunity to take advantage of these prices. and still layer into your favorite projects. This is not financial advice. I'm just talking out loud, and basically this is what I'm doing currently. But the Bitcoin halving is coming up, guys. Estimated date April 18th. So that's not too far away. Federal Reserve still foresees 3 interest rate cuts this year, despite bump in inflation. Now, this was very, very positive news. So we had a meeting this week here in the U.S. The Fed Bank basically said that there will be no more interest rates. He didn't hike it. And as a matter of fact, he still plans to cut rates 3%. 3 times rather. Now that's very, very bullish news because normally when that happens, people have more money. They're not paying that much more in interest as far as credit card fees, your loans, and everything like that. Businesses and individuals have more free money to invest in more risk assets, and crypto is considered a risk asset. So I think this is very, very positive. And it's not just in the US. All these federal banks and these people, the bankers, they all talk to each other, all the different governments. So I think, they understand what's happening. They know that the debt's out of control and they have to make people happy, especially here in the US. We have an election coming up this fall. So this is all, I believe, coordinated to make people feel happy about the economy and give them more money. In any event, it's just going to help the crypto space. So this is very, very positive. And just to show you, right after they announced this news, this is according to sentiment here. Let's take a look at the chart. So you basically see that peak fear as Powell's speech begins and traders brace for interest rate rise, right? But he didn't rise. So this is all during the speech. All this is beginning. And then he announced that there will be no rise in interest rates. And as a matter of fact, he plans to cut 3 times this year. And then just look at that. Boom. Things just took off. Crypto markets begin to rise rapidly as trader awareness of Fed rates hit mainstream, causing FOMO and further rises. This is just the beginning. So he just said that. Now imagine if he actually announces that. And the next meeting, I believe that's probably going to happen in May. And what happens before that? Bitcoin halving that we just talked about. So that happens before, right there. And then we get these rate cuts. It's going to be a beautiful thing, people. So that's what I'm very excited about. And then also, let's take a look at the ETFs. We can't forget about them. They are still buying ahead of this cut as far as the Bitcoin halving goes. And you just see nothing but green, green, green. Week 3, we have GPTC, Grayscale to deal with. They're still dumping a lot actually. But overall, whatever they're dumping, mostly IBIT, BlackRock's ETF is buying it all up. And it's not only him. You have Fidelity, and then we have what people are calling Mr. 100, who's buying up as much as being produced. So you just have all these entities buying, and the price should be way higher than it is, but we're still dealing with offsets from a Grayscale selling. And they can't sell forever. So once that's done, again, we have a lot of good catalysts. We have halving, we have rate cuts, and then Grayscale at some point they have to stop. And when they stop, we have the halving too, which is less supply. So basic economics, supply and demand, the price will go high. And that's going to impact the overall crypto space. And then everybody's going to be FOMOing in, especially when Bitcoin hits 80, 90, 100,000. Everybody's going to want to be a part of it. So enough Bitcoin talk. Now let's talk about ETH. There's some FUD because ETH basically in May, they had another meeting. The SEC was going to review that to see if the spot ETFs can be approved. And a lot of people are thinking, hey, BlackRock has a spot ETF. All the major players have spot ETF applications with the SEC. That it's almost a guarantee that it's going to be approved. Now, SEC and Gary Gensler hits us with this. They're attempting to classify ETH as a security. And that's crazy, right? I know in the Southern District of New York, the AG there was classifying or said that ETH was a security as well. But previously, I believe Gary said that Bitcoin and ETH were commodities and shouldn't be labeled as securities. Now there's a 180, and this is what's coming up here. So this was one of the major floods that came out this week. And basically, several U.S.-based companies reportedly received subpoenas from the SEC requesting they provide documents and financial records related to dealings with the ETH Foundation. According to people familiar with the matter, the commission launched a campaign to classify ETH as a security following the blockchain's transition from proof of work to proof of stake in 2022. So, how will this impact the future ETFs of ETH? I believe at some point it will be approved, but This, I believe, is a hiccup to it being approved this year, in my opinion. So, this is crazy. Just Gary doing his thing, and chances are, I don't know what's going to happen in the election. He's probably on his way out anyway, but he'll probably just get this lawsuit filed, and the next SEC chair has to deal with it. But as far as spot ETFs being approved, this is a major obstacle that ETH will have to overcome. But ETH whales don't care, right? If we look at this, another chart from Sentiment, ETH whales are gobbling up the ETH, right? 2024 high whale activity as 3.3 thousand price levels dip into midterm buy zone. So they're accumulating right now. So again, ETH, there's say what you want about it. People are saying that it's dead. I don't think it's dead. I never said it was dead, but I just like Solana better. For me and my goals and what I'm trying to accomplish and the amount that I'm trying to accumulate, I think Solana is a better bet for me. But ETH is still a big dog, and I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. And we'll see what happens. With Bitcoin price rising and all these things happening that I just talked about, ETH can do well as well. So EU clamps down on crypto anonymity to fight money laundering. And then when I heard this story, it sounded as if EU was banning crypto, and the way you read it, some influencers and crypto Twitter was kind of, that was the message, right? That EU was frowned upon. They didn't like crypto and beware, blah, blah, blah. And basically, if you look deep and you dig deeper into it, that's not really the case, right? They're trying to stop money laundering. And so basically anything above 3 grand, you have to identify your address. So Rec Builder, who's on Twitter, he's a good follow, said that basically if you send crypto to a regulated exchange or payment processor, they will ask you to declare that you own the wallet from which you sent the funds. That's all it is. There is no ban on anything. It's KYC one step further to your source address. That's it, people. So no FUD. And I get it why they're doing it. I just want to touch upon that because I've seen some things about EU and they don't like crypto, blah, blah, blah. But that's the case there. So BlackRock has a 10 trillion tokenization vision for RWA, real world assets. And if I take you back into history, last bull cycle, one of the main themes was metaverse. And what spearheaded that? In my opinion, it was Mark Zuckerberg when they changed the name Facebook to Meta. And then everything started taking off. Decentraland, Sandbox, all of that, they all started taking off. And I think now this is kind of like the beginning. This is one of the narratives that I think are going to blow up, and that is real world assets. I also think AI is going to take off, and obviously memes. But those three things, as well as gaming, if you're in those narratives, you probably want to look for safe bets there, some up and coming projects that I'll be covering in the next couple of weeks. But I think these narratives are going to be very important and they're going to have major, major gains. So basically, tokenizing real world assets. That's the plan. Vehicles, insurance, real estate, and it's still in its infancy. It's going to take a while to develop, but I can see that being a major use case for blockchain, right? It'll cut out middlemen, all the tedious paperwork and all those things. Imagine getting a house or trying to buy a house and you don't have to sit in the title company's office for 2 hours signing crazy amounts of documents. We're going to a car dealership and doing the same thing. That'll be interesting. So to play in that, you want to take a look at some of these things here. And it's a domino effect, right? BlackRock said they want to get into it. Kind of you see what happens with the ETF and BlackRock. You see how that's taken off. But I want to focus on this one here, Mantra. It raised 11 million and they're backed by some VCs, Hex Trucks, Black Pine, GameFi Ventures. It's a RWA L1 blockchain capable of adherence and enforcement of regulatory requirements. This is one here, as far as this space goes, that I'm really, really interested in. I'm also interested in Ondo is another one that I like. But again, space to take a look at. Next, look at top. This is according to Crypto Depth, top real world asset projects by total value locked. MakerDAO is the top one right now. Ondo Finance is one that I mentioned that I want to get into. And look at that. Total value locked 201 million. Realty, BackFi, and all these other ones here. But you could probably take a look at these if you are interested. to get into the space. These are things that are on the up and up right now. Now, Chainlink leads in crypto project development and activity for the past month, with Cardano and Status close behind. So, Chainlink's doing good. Big Oracle right now. Cardano, the second right there. Then you see Optimism, now two for ETH, Hedera, as far as developers go. Polkadot's doing good, Kusama, and ETH and Cosmos. So I just thought this was interesting just to show that the development activity on these chains. So just for reference, Chainlink here and development activity 451. ADA, not too far behind, 444. Then let's go down to Polkadot. Polkadot's at 385. So still building, still activity going on those blockchains. Now, memes, you can't escape them. Everyone has a little bit of degen in them, and memes are going crazy. And most of the meme activity is going on Solana, which is helping their transactions and all of that, right? I talked enough about Solana on this channel. But Avalanche is, I think, the second or third L1 that probably is going to have a lot of meme activity too. And I think those have yet to blown up. And they doubled down and they're announcing $1 million incentive plan for the memes that are being built on Avalanche. They recognize this. They know, just like this picture illustrates, that's how you get all the people coming onto your chain. And then hopefully with the gains they make from your memes, they go on and invest in other projects or maybe other memes. But in any event, they offer this to offer liquidity. If you have some of their memes, I think they even purchase some themselves. I know they have Cock Inu and some others, but they're offering staking and all these other different type of things. And I think that is a great, great idea. I'm an owner of Cock Inu as well as Big Red. And I just think this is a brilliant idea. So take a look. If you haven't invested in any of these memes on Avalanche, it's a good blockchain. I own Avalanche as well, and I think it's going to do very well this bull cycle. Now, Toncoin has done, I just showed you, very well. Where most of the market is choppy, trading sideways. Look at Toncoin. Toncoin has gone up, and why is that? Well, they've offered $100 million incentive plan for their users, and that can help any chain, right? So Ton Foundation has announced that the launch of the Open League, which is a 30 million Toncoin community rewards initiative, they've also valued it at over 100 million. The distribution will be allocated to competing projects and Ton ecosystem users starting next month. So there you go. So it's already distributed 650,000 Toncoin, which is worth 2.6 million, to users via liquidity pool boost as part of the pilot, with projects winning the pilot competition on March 31st, set to share about $2.2 million worth of Toncoin. So, and also the foundation claimed that the network saw a 70% increase in TVL on its decentralized exchanges. That's a 370% surge in daily active addresses during the pilot. So basically, if you give people incentives to come onto your chain, and basically you're giving them free Toncoins, that's going to help with anything. So that's what's going on there. Toncoin is okay in my opinion. I believe it's a Telegram type deal. They had it before the ICO. There were some issues with SEC, shut it down. Now they're back again. And basically, if anything, the biggest advantage Toncoin has is that it already has the Telegram infrastructure. Telegram has over 900 million users, so you already have the people there. So it's just a matter of innovating and coming up with good projects. So Toncoin is definitely one to keep an eye on. Now, also Stacks is also doing very well. Stacks has Nakamoto that's going to be launching, and that's going to help with security and scalability. It's L2 running on top of Bitcoin. And the Nakamoto upgrade will begin rolling out between April 15th and 29th, which is the instantation, I think that's how you say it, window. And then the rules go live, which is the activation window, between May 15th and 29th, finalizing the launch. So Stacks is also doing very well. So wanted to keep an eye on. And then lastly, Phantom. Phantom is one that I was high on it, then I was neutral on it. Now I'm back on it again. It's just one, Angie Kronhay, who's they consider her a DeFi, consider him a DeFi guy. He's done wonders with Year in Finance, and basically he's not giving up on Phantom. He left, came back, and then they were dealing with a couple of hacks. People lost money with bridges and all of that. So they didn't have a good bear market, but they have a Sonic upgrade that's coming up, and it's going to help with speed and security, as well as their EVM compatible, kind of making it like an L2 for Ethereum. And that's a major, major booster for this project. It's increasing in TVL because of it, and the price of Phantom's over $1 right now. We talked about how much of an increase they've had, and I think it's just the beginning. I don't think this is just a fad. Last bull cycle, Phantom had, as far as DeFi goes, if you ever interacted with it, the spooky swap and all of the DeFi projects that it had was pretty good, and they offered great, great interest DeFi. So this is a good project. I still think it has room to grow, especially if we think the crypto market space is going to hit maybe double the trillions of dollars that it's currently at. Phantom stands to grow with that as well. But this project did very, very well. And for those that stuck with Phantom, congratulations. I'm back on Phantom. I think it's a solid project, especially at this price point now. I think it's only going to continue to get higher. So, guys, that is the video for today. I hope you liked it. I hope everyone's doing well. Let's get prepared for what's to come next week. Hopefully, we start seeing Grayscale scale down on their selling, and we just start seeing more buying, and people get excited for the halving, and Bitcoin price hits in the 70,000s again, and we start seeing the rises that we want to see. If not, it's okay, because on this channel, especially with me, I'm a DCA person. I'll just continue to DCA into my projects. At the end of this year, I expect big things. Next year, I expect big things. And I have a lot of goals. And through crypto, I will attain all of those goals. I have no doubt about it. On the channel, I'm going to start talking about more lower cap and newer projects to maximize gains. I recognize that on this channel, I only talk about the blue chips and the ones that I like a lot, the Solanas, the Avalanche, and everyone knows those are the ones to go to. So I got to start coming up and looking at projects that are next to come up. Some more, basically what people are calling now alpha, to maximize our bags and our return. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on this channel. And I hope you like the content. If you do, please subscribe to the channel to see more of this. And until next time, have a good week, guys. Bye.